Alice and I met both in Georgia. So I grew up in Pennsylvania. She grew up in upstate New York.
And so that's how we ended up meeting. We ended up being in a small group together, and we just shared a lot of time together. Now we're married. One of the other things Mark and I did together was we volunteered for a group called Youth for Christ. And at the time, its focus was really on foster care in the Floyd County. And so we knew that probably one child biological was going to be appropriate for us, and that we would like to leave space in our home to include these foster children that would otherwise have no place else to go. At the time, we were starting to think about intentionally adopting. Peggy was 2 years old. And God's perfect timing, Mark received an email saying that WinShape was going to start its own small home foster placement agency.
We were excited and jumped on board on day one. And so one of the reasons we chose WinShape was we knew they would do it well. We knew that it was a challenge, it was going to be hard, and we wanted that extra support, and we knew WinShape could offer that. I think our main motivation in getting into fostering was eventually to adopt, but with the lens that we did not want to take a child that had another option. So we actually, are very, very, very excited when reunification can happen. We think that's a tremendous blessing. Whoever was in our home was our child. So yeah, like our first placement was one of our daughters. When they found a family member for her to go back to, it was sad, but it was joyous. Like, we consider that a success.
The first placement, when they brought her, they told us that they knew that this would not be a permanent placement. So we knew that child was going to be placed someplace else. It's still hard, but we knew a lot more about that placement. The second placement, we were told the opposite, that this is probably going to be a permanent placement. And so when Defects was able to find a biological family member, that was a surprise, even to the caseworkers. But it worked out perfectly. Her biological father is amazing. We're still in touch. Every year at her birthday, Christmas, Easter, he sends me a photo of her, and it's been good. It's been good to be able to see her grow up. Hard, but good. Lucy is our most recent placement. This was a much more straightforward placement in that we knew probably from the start it was going to lead to adoption.
I know for me, it took me a while to warm up to her, just trying to guard my heart, saying, it was so unexpected last time. I'm not going to believe she's ours until until they sign the paperwork. And so I'm asking the judge in our hearing, hey, for real? Is this for real? Like, is she ours? For real? Like, nothing else can happen. So I know for me, it took a long time to emotionally warm up to her, to think, yes, this is going to be a forever daughter.
Adopting in a pandemic is both more complicated, but more streamlined. We were able to do all the paperwork virtually, so we didn't have to worry about leaving our house or someone coming and delivering paperwork to us. What made it great is if we were going to do the adoption in person, only people probably from our local area would be able to physically come. Having it over a Zoom call meant that we were able to invite people from all over the planet to be part of our celebration. So a silver lining to a Zoom adoption call. I think the one thing that I have mostly experienced, as God has taught me, is that the world is very broken. The kids who come into foster care need love more than anybody else. And so trying to figure out, how do you love them where they are? Love their parents for where they are, and understand that God's under control of the whole thing.
At the end of the day, this wasn't our idea, this was Jesus's idea. He loves kids. He wants them to have a home and a family and a purpose. So don't praise us, praise him. WinShape has just cared for us. They have loved us. They have celebrated with us, and they have mourned with us. So many benefits and so much care and love. I'm so thankful for them.